So good morning. So let me start the session. So we are doing module 2. So under module 2 we have directing and controlling. So today we'll finish this unit because it is a small unit having a very less topics. So we have I've kept I had kept only module 1 for our first IA. So maybe for a second internal we will have two modules, module 2 and module 3. And similarly for third IA we'll have module 4 and 5. So module 2, as I said, it covers the CO2 and we have very less topics. We have tried to cover till here motivational theories. So I'll just have a recap and I'll continue to finish this communication, coordination and controlling. In the motivation theories, there are many things we have to study. We stressed on two of the theories, Maslow's and Herzberg's theories of motivation. And there are a few of diagrammatic representations in communication also. So here is the model 2. So we are going to see a few of the motivational theories, meaning and importance of coordination. So we have seen what is directing. So definition wise, we have seen it is a complex function that includes various activities. So being used to encourage subordinates to work effectively and efficiently. The words called effectively and efficiency is a major performance factors whenever you have an organization standing on the pillars. And also if you see management life cycle, planning, organizing. So once you finish planning and organizing, then only you come to the directing. That is the last but one part of the management. So giving the directions. If you are not given the, if your planning is proper, organizing is proper, you know what is planning and organizing. And uh, if the direction is not as per the planning and organizing, maybe again you cannot achieve the quality of effectiveness and efficiency. So nature and characteristics we have seen, it is a dynamic function. So direction initiates the action after organizing, and it is a universal action. This we have seen previously. I'm just recapping so that we'll try to cover the unit today in the today's module. So similarly, we have seen leadership styles. So various leadership styles we have seen: free rein, democratic. Because why I'm recapping, because I thought of keeping this for internal. Again, we had a discussion and we have not able to keep this module 2. So again, for a second IA, you will have these topics to be studied. What are the leadership styles? Autocratic, right? What is autocratic? Merits and demerits of autocratic leadership. Then we have democratic. So what are the uh, merits and demerits of democratic leadership? Then free reign, right? Then we have a concept of motivation. So we have a concept of motivation. So it is all about the motivating the subordinates to contribute towards achieving the organizational goal. So it ultimately measures the performance. So performance of an employee could be boosted with respect to the motivation. So here you could see the what is performance basically with respect to the terminology called ability and willingness. So the ability of a personality multiplying with this his willingness towards achieving the goal gives the performance. So it is not that you simply the performance can be achieved. So first to in order to achieve a performance you should have a ability or a proficiency and the willingness, so that altogether gives you the performance. So motivation is all about enhancing the willingness to work. So these are all the theories we have to explain what are the motivation theories. So let me brief of Maslow's we have gone through, Hasberg's we have gone through. So Maslow's theories of motivation. So the how these things are arranged in the hierarchy: psychological, security, social needs, esteem needs. We have discussed what are esteem, psychological, security, and social needs. In the case of Hasberg's two factors theory, so once again, Maslow's theories of motivations are based on these five factors: psychological, security, social, esteem, and self-actualization. So psychologically, you know it. This is the basic needs such as food, water, shelter. Security needs. So people want to be free of physical danger. What are social needs? So they need to belong to be accepted by the others, by the society or the social. Esteem needs. So esteem needs basically deals with the luxury, that is it gives the satisfaction as a power and prestige and the status. So these are all called esteem needs. So finally, once you achieve all these needs, that is psychologically, security, social, and esteem, the next is the self-actualization needs. Okay. Then is the Hasberg's two factors theory. In the Hasberg's two factors theory, we have a two factors to concentrate. So he has made a two groups that he did a research on the concepts of motivations. And I had explained this, what is this group 1 and group 2, how he has conducted one of the experiments to understand the satisfaction level of an employee in an organization. So he has classified who are satisfiers or who are dissatisfiers. So what is dissatisfaction? So he classified, Hasberg's classified these factors as hygiene or maintenance factors. Okay. So here is the theoretical part, Hasberg's two factors theory. The first group of factors are called as dissatisfiers. So that is that they're not motivating the organization. The second group of the job content are motivators. So finally, we had a conclusion on Hasberg's two factors theory. So managers must give considerable attention to the upgrading the following content. There are two factors, hygiene factors and motivators. So these are all the hygiene factors and these are all the motivators. So the third theory is Mackland's achievement theory. So I'll directly go to the communication part. So one more theory was Victor Vroom's expectation theory. So in this concept, people's motivation towards doing anything will be determined in the value. That is the value they place on the outcome of their effort multiplied by the confidence. So here you can see the concept, how do you calculate the force? The force, we say that it is a motivational factor here. What is valence? It is valence is the strength of an individual performance for an outcome. And what is expectancy? So it is like a mathematically he has evaluated how does the motivation depends. Expectancy is the probability that a particular action will lead to a desired outcome. Similarly, we have Skinner's reinforcement theory. So I'll switch over to the concept of communication. So communication is also a part of directing, right? We have a third management life cycle. In the management life cycle, we have a third step is direction. We have first planning, organizing, direction. So communication is a part of direction. If you don't have a communication, direction cannot be achieved effectively or efficiently. So what is communication basically? It is the exchange of information. The information may contains ideas or the opinions, right? Or the integration of the interest towards the among the members towards the achievement of the organizational goal. Also, I can say communication, it is passing of information between one person to another. So diagrammatically, you can see how does the feedback plays a major role in communication process. So this is the diagrammatic representation to say what is communication process and what does the communication consist of. In a networks concept, you have what is a communication, the transfer of a packets or the data. In the same way here also, transmission of a message. The message may contains a noise. So you could see we have a sender, we have a receiver. Even the sender could be a receiver on one side and the receiver cannot be a sender on another side. We have thoughts and encodings, the feedbacks. Totally explain a communication process model. You're able to explore this. So what is the importance of communication? Based on individual pillar of management life cycle, we have planning, organizing, staffing, leading and controlling. And how does the communication have an effect on external environment? So next we have a coordination. So if I ask you what is communication, you should be able to represent this with these two diagrams. What is a communication process model with the importance of communication? What is coordination? So coordination deals with the task of blending efforts in order to ensure successful attainment of an objective. So these are all the importance of coordination. Why do we need a coordination? Usually we need coordination to increase the efficiency. It improves the human relationship, helps to resolve the conflicts, it helps in sharing of the resources. So what are the different techniques of coordination? Coordination by plans and procedures, by sound and simple organization, a chain command, effective commutations. So here is a tabular form to explain, to differentiate between what is the difference between coordination and cooperation. So simple terminology of concepts of directing. So in fact, communication, coordination and cooperation, all these three vocabularies are being concerned with the direction. Okay, so that is a, after organizing, we have a concept of directing. So coordination versus cooperation based on the fundamentals. Definition wise, coordination, it is a deliberate effort by a manager. Cooperation, it is a voluntary attitude of organizational members. So the basic purpose, with respect to the purpose, we say the coordination, it is an orderly arrangement of group efforts to provide unity of action. And with respect to the basics called relations, how do we achieve the coordination? So we have both formal and informal relations. So when you think about results, cooperation, so control is checking current performance against the predetermined standards. So next, controlling is determining what is being accomplished, that is evaluating the performance. So we have different steps in controlling. So that is the establishment of the standards. So we have a quantitative standards and qualitative standards. So quantitative standards are depends on the production level, labor hours, expenses, profit, usually the measurable values, right? The quantitative techniques, you have gone through the quantitative techniques where you come across operations research, right? In OR you think about critical path method or simplex method or the transportation cost or the assignment cost. So all those values were based on the concepts of numerical values, right? So we have production level, labor hour, expense, profit. Similarly, qualitative standards depends upon employee morale, company image, and industrial relationship. They are not quantitative data, measurable data. So those who have not given the attendance in the chat session, you can give. Meanwhile, I'll continue in steps in controlling. So what is controlling? So you could see what is steps in establish of the standards, where we have a quantitative and qualitative standards. Measuring and comparing actual performance in the standard consists of completion, object, and responsiveness. The steps in controlling consist of all these things, that is taking a corrective measure, the essentials of sound control system, so methods, under methods of establishing control, traditional control techniques is budgetary control, that is a written plan program in monetary terms, that and estimating the most efficient cost of manufacturing this particular product. So here are a few of the techniques, that is method to in order to establish method. Modern control techniques. The modern control, these were the traditional techniques I told you, budgetary control and standard costing. Under modern techniques, we have break-even analysis, critical path method called CPM, PERT techniques, statistical quality analysis, quality circles. So till here will, so next we have methods of establishing the control. So this is the last topic we have. Methods, how do you establish the methods? Methods of establishing the control. So today it started with the communication, controlling, and what are the methods of establishing control. So using the modern techniques, control techniques, using the traditional control techniques. First, what are the steps in controlling? And what is the meaning of controlling? Meaning of the controlling. What are the steps in controlling? These are the steps. establishing of the standard. How do you establish standard? By using quantitative and qualitative, and measuring the performance with the standards, taking corrective measures. So finally, we have some of the other control techniques. So other control techniques includes defining the standard policy and procedures, self-control, group control, observing the personally. So these are all the other control techniques in order to achieve the control. So we started today with basically the communication. What is a communication? Meaning and the importance of communication. What is the difference between coordination and controlling? Okay. Communication process, importance of communication, coordination. Then we have a table, coordination and cooperation. This might be an important task, the differentiation between coordination and cooperation. Then we have a controlling. So controlling meaning and the definitions. What are the steps in controlling? So establishing the standards, measuring, taking corrective measures. What are the essentials of a sound control system? Then finally, what are the methods of establishing the control? We have traditional control technique. This could be important. What are the essentials of a sound control system? Sorry, what are the methods? What are the three methods we have? One is a traditional control techniques. So under traditional control techniques, we have budgetary and standard costing. So next we have modern control techniques, and third is a other control techniques. Three categories we have. Under these three categories, we should be able to write the methods. Okay. So let me stop the recording.